Hello everyone, I'm Jay.
I'm Val.
And we're in Greensboro, North Carolina. And we're here at Woods of Terror.
And we are so excited. This is our first time here, and this is huge for us.
Yeah, we're here for their special media night. And we're gonna see a behind the scenes tour.
We're gonna get a Q&A with the owner, Eddie.
The night's young, it has just begun. As she puts her hand in mine, we wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Val, look at this. So we're in the midway section, and look at this huge werewolf.
Jay, he's ready to attack you.
And here's another photo op. It's Jason, and they have it to where he looks like he's underwater, right? He's actually anchored to this big rock. So it looks like he's floating, and then of course they've got the Woods of Terror logo right here. What do you think about that, Val?
This is pretty awesome. This is something I could see in our friend's Dot's Adventures house. They would love something like this.
Yep, pretty spooky.
Jay and Val.
Hi Jay, you're on camera.
Hey Jay. Hey Jay.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
How was your trip here?
It was pretty good. Just a 5-hour from the Pigeon Forge area.
Not too bad, right?
Did you drive all the way to St. Louis?
No, that's too far. We flew in, and boy, Valerie's arms are tired.
Yeah.
So just wanted to say hello, and we're in the same circles right now, and it's just a privilege to be able to say.
I'm excited for you guys because this is your first time at Woods of Terror, right?
It really is. What are we expecting tonight?
You're in for a treat. You're in for a very scary trail haunt that sometimes you're going to be like, does this thing ever end? Yes, it is massive. So,
right, and you know where we come from, so we have Creepy World, which is a very scary trail as well.
Yeah.
So pretty close?
Pretty close, yeah.
Awesome, so we're so excited. We're so excited that you're here.
I'm excited.
Nice to see you again, my friend. Thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Looks like when you're in the midway and you're looking for something to quench your thirst, you can go to Baba Yaga. They have a bar right here, right in the middle of the midway, and have a couple drinks while you're waiting for your turn to go through Woods of Terror.
Hey Jay, are you getting tired?
No, that's not me, Val.
Go take a seat.
This is me, Val. That's Art.
Go sit next to Art. Make a friend, Jay.
Oh boy. Who are you looking at, Art?
All right, guys, I want to welcome you out to our first premiere night at Woods of Terror. We've been wanting to do this for a couple of years, and if you noticed, I went the week before her Halloween Horror Nights because everybody will be down there having a good time. So we wanted to get this in and just show everybody the size, the scope, and the detail of Woods of Terror. So I'll have a brief introduction, and then we're going to break into groups, about 17 different groups, and you'll get a guided tour. So just giving a brief introduction, everybody wants to know where I started. Well, back in I can't remember that far back, 1990, I went, some of my friends asked me to go to a haunted attraction with them. So I went, there's a couple of friends there working, and I had a really good time, and I seen my buddy, and he said, man, I worked 4 weeks, and I had a great time, but I didn't make but $40. And I said, well, come work for me, I'll pay you $100. So that was in 1991. I think we did 187 people at $2. But a little bit different game now, probably doing over 45,000 at $50, and it's changed. And you know, I always thought, hey, if you put your hard work into it, it's going to turn into something. But I wouldn't have thought this big. I wouldn't have thought the scope of this size. And I just didn't know. So I have really been blessed over the years to have some great people.
So what was your influences to even start a haunted house?
It's crazy. I come from a very Christian background, and Daddy didn't let me listen to a lot of secular music, and so I had to catch up. I had to watch a lot of horror movies. And for me, the influences are probably horror movies. I've been to some great haunted houses. When I met Ben Armstrong from Delaware, I said, Ben, what do you do for a living? He said, well, I do Halloween. And I said, no, I do heating and air 40 hours a week, and then I do Halloween at night 40 hours a week. So he goes, no, I do Halloween. And I said, that's what I want to do. So I started watching. Every Sunday, I wasn't open at the time. I would go to Headless Horseman, go to Randy Bates, Niles, Michigan, Niles Haunted House, go to all the haunted houses. I saw a lot of stuff I liked. I also saw a lot of stuff I didn't like. So I picked out what was good, hired a PR lady, media buyer. All that thing really changed the scope of everything. And for me, it's not necessarily about Halloween. It's about putting on the show. And when you see down there, you'll see the stuff. It's just about building a show. If I could build this show in April and this many people would come, I'd do one for April. But Halloween seems to be the thing to let you know we're going to be doing. We did Halfway to Halloween this year for the third year. And that's growing. We did Krampus last year for the first year. This year we'll do 2 weekends of Krampus. Really different show, really a fun show, and we had a lot of families come to that. This year we'll be doing Valentine of Terror. Friday the 13th is on in February, and then of course Saturday is Valentine's Day. So a great opportunity for us to, I have so much infrastructure here, I just wanted to have other ways to make money and keep the machine as expensive to run. Any more questions?
What was the evolution of creating the Bone Daddy character?
The evolution of Bone Daddy. So I went to Vegas. I think I went out there to the IAPA show or the Transworld show, and I got home. I told my wife, I said, girl, I missed you like crazy. She said, I didn't miss you at all. I'm leaving. I said, oh, wow, that was shocking. So she left, and that's the year I started working for Woods of Terror full time, and I said, you know what, I don't work for nobody, I can do what I want to do. I cut a red mohawk and picked up a yellow snake. So came into Midway. I didn't know you're supposed to name a snake, but the newspaper came out and stuck a camera in my face, and I said, yeah, her name's Dawn. It's like my ex-wife, beautiful to look at, but sneaky as a snake. They posted that on the first page of the news and record. Yeah, I got a phone call the next morning. I was like, I'm still sleeping, what's going on? Did you say this? But so went down to Myrtle Beach for Bike Week. I got a casket car. You get to see that tonight. Took the casket car out, walked into a shop down there, and there was a jacket. So I put that on. I walked in the next season, and somebody said, hey, Bone Daddy. So that was about 16 years ago. And since then, Octobers are hotter, so I had to make me a vest. So I have I have about 5 jackets. I have them locked up because a couple of my buddies had some and they got stolen at Transworld. So I got them locked up in a safe because they don't make them anymore. You can find the fake ones or the pleather ones or the vinyl ones. But that's how Bone Daddy came around. And just now, I think people still don't realize I'm the owner. I had a guy last year who said, you know, I've been here every year and you've been here every year. I said, yeah. So it's been fun. It's after you work all season long, it's great to get out here and meet the people and talk to them. And now the bad thing is I'm seeing kids who are like, yeah, my dad come here when he was 12 and now I'm his son. I'm like, oh my God. But it's been 34 years and that's been great. All right.
How many acres is your haunt?
Well, I own 50 acres. Well, let's see, I own 42 and I'm leasing 8. So the haunt's probably on about 26 of it. Yep. So.
Haunted aerobics.
Yep. So a little bit of background. I gave a tour today. When my granddaddy died, I found the deed when my grandfather bought it in 1940. My great grandfather. So I've got one piece to buy back, and I'll have the whole 50 back. This took me about 20 years to buy it all. I remember in 1982, I decided that I wanted to farm and I wanted to make it survive and I wanted it to be here. I didn't know that it would be Woods of Terror, but I mean, you can notice leaving, there's a housing development, housing development, housing development, housing development. And they come in and try to buy everything, and so hopefully, luckily, I was able to buy it all back. So it's been great. I figured I'll have it all back paid for by the time I'm ready to retire. Some of you might start at the pirate ship, and some of you might start at the cave, because we'll all start at all the attractions at once, and then it'll take about an hour and a half, and you'll go through the whole show.
All right, so we are heading to our behind the scenes tour. Our lovely tour guide is taking us out. Val?
I'm super excited. We're starting in Necropolis.
I have no clue what that is, but I am sure that it's going to be amazing and wonderful. And we just want to thank Eddie McLaren and everybody on staff here at Woods of Terror for having us out. We haven't even been through any of the haunt yet, and we're already thrilled. So excited to be here. Thank you, guys.
Necropolis. This used to be an open section that was started as the graves where there were actual tombstones as well as chain zombies, and it was basically a spin to make it like you're entering a grave and people are coming to life. Our zombies are coming for you and coming alive, and basically we had statues as well that were meant to look like almost as if they were part of the tombs and they came to life. And so if you'll step this way, we're about to enter into Necropolis. So every single coffin all the way to the ceiling is real, and it's meant to add to the effect of the awakening. These are also some more of our original skeletons that were in our graveyard when it started as an open attraction. The reason it's now enclosed is to prevent us from having to close down when the weather is not the best outside. Not only are we zombie focused, we're also focused around spirits and ghosts and basically a feeling of a demonic presence. So this will be a new attraction that is not quite finished yet. It's going to start as a projection of a beautiful church. There'll be stained glass windows, basically a beautiful image of a church that's full, complete image. You know, you see the church pews that we added in. Those are actually real. It's meant to play off of war. So basically what happens is you'll notice that during the projection that there are bombs flying, and it's played on a crooked priest who is set focused instead of on his church. He sets it on damnation and basically destruction. So instead, he shifts focus after the bombing and leads his church into destruction and damnation. Alright, so this is our movie section. It originally started as an image of a real theater, and we actually played real movies in here. Some of the classics included Scream, Michael Myers as well. We had Freddy as well. Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. And we took a spin and kind of a focus as if you're entering the scene of the movies. So you will see some of the iconic characters inside the attraction, as well as a feeling like you are being watched, you are being stalked by the traditional characters. And you'll notice right here, this used to be where our Scream character played. We now have a animatronic per se, and he is meant to give you the sense of what you're entering into. And he was strategically placed to give you almost a jump scare feeling when you walked inside. So this scene plays off of Michael Myers, and the ambulance is placed for his victim. We also have a scenery where there is a victim that will warn the customers of what lies ahead. We also use the ambulance as almost like a prop. So the victim is picked up by Michael and thrown into the ambulance to add to the effect. And we also, they portray as if they are being killed by Michael and running away. Now you can notice the iconic claws. And this is where you'll enter into Freddy's lair. So behind here, through the curtain, you'll enter Freddy's house, and we'll take a spin on where the doll girl was in the playground.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Alright, so as you walk through, you noticed a creepy voice that seemed to follow you in here. We strategically placed that to give you a sinister feeling like you are entering into Freddy's house. So if you look behind you to your left, you'll notice a swing set. This is where we place our doll girl. And she sings the iconic 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. And this is a sense of terror and, oh no, what did I get myself into? So this is basically to lead into the sensation of what lies ahead, as well as to kind of warn you that Freddy is ahead of you. Alright, and this is his house, and y'all can follow me this way. A smell of rotten flesh. These are slashers. A short snippet of Freddy, as well as an entrance into Crystal Lake. So we have our bait shop 3D neon sign in there. We also have a traditional Camp Crystal Lake that was hand painted. We also have a lot of road signs to add to the effect that you're entering into camp, as well as the rotting smell of flesh, because these are slasher characters. I'm gonna step this way. So we're about to enter into a section that has a drop bridge, and it's meant to add to the effect of an unsettling, like you're falling into the water. As you'll notice, a couple creepy things hanging on the wall that's meant to add to the sensation that something is not well. So if you'll take a look around, you'll notice that we're about to enter into our pirate lair. We have now upgraded this to feel like more of like a pirate ship, and it takes a spin on Pirates of the Caribbean, as well as more of like a kind of voodoo feel as well. It's meant to be a more sinister. Pirates is a staple of Woods of Terror history. We've always had our pirates. We have changed over the years. Instead, so we took a turn and now have a cave edition that you'll notice is kind of a play on Pirates of the Caribbean as well. We also have water, and you'll notice a couple creatures in there if you'll take a look around. So if you'll follow me this way, I'll get you guys into here. So as you'll notice, this is a new addition. This is a shark animatronic that we added this year.
I never did that one. I picked the front one.
We're going inside like a boat to give you an extra feel that you're on a ship.
We also used to have a pirate character who brought his very own parakeet to act with him. And he actually could talk as well. So he would talk to the customers that came through. So as you look around, you'll notice some traditional dock holds, as well as some crates and some nets to add to the sensation of being on a boat, being surrounded by pirates, and to give you that sort of feel.
And now we are boarding the ship.
So this actually moves underneath you to feel like you're in a boat rocking down the waves.
So this is one of Woods of Terror's very first treehouse attraction. This is the home of the sea goddess Calypso. So we're kind of leaving pirates and going into powerful entities.
As well as some voodoo magic. Like if you've ever seen Princess and the Frog, it's like the Shadow Man. Okay. So if you'll follow me up. So as we enter the treehouse, you'll notice some taxidermy pieces, and those were actually collected by our boss Eddie. That is one of his hobbies that he likes, and it's meant to add to the effect of voodoo and dark magic.
And then could you
So as you take a look around, you'll see some interesting pieces that were strategically placed to play off of Calypso's collection, as well as alligator skin on the ceiling, and that is actually a real alligator. As well as behind me, you'll notice a blocked off section. For 2025, that'll include our all access. We'll get to go down slides out of the attraction. Oh my goodness.
Swift kick will move quicker.
So we're coming upon Miner's Massacre. It's also one of the oldest attractions here. It uses the natural terrain of the woods and is incorporated to help give it a mine feelings. So expect tight spaces.
And as you enter, there will be sections where you can look out almost a window and actually notice that you are underground.
As you can see here by our furry friend, they have now started to incorporate werewolves into the mines, where some of the miners are now starting to transform. All right, into the dark.
those houses, those portions back there, they're usually actors and terrorists or anything. They're usually actors.
Oh yes, yes, you'll see that.
So as you came through, probably felt a sense of not being able to see, as well as it plays on your senses of not knowing what's ahead of you. So this is meant to give you a fear and a different sensation based on your senses.
That's what the fear garden is doing in Gainesville. They're doing a sensory deprivation.
What happened to major air conditioning now?
So as you can see, we are about to enter Texas House. And this is Woods of Terror's spin on the traditional Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And this is one of Woods of Terror's oldest attractions. This also features some of Eddie's personal taxidermy work that you'll notice as you walk in. Refrigerator. What originated from this was our boss actually had a snake in here while he was on vacation, and then the power went out and the snake passed away and left a horrible stench. And now this refrigerator is used for roadkill, and when you open it, it lingers out a terrible smell throughout the house.
Deputies report that in some instances, only parts of the floor had been removed.
As well as the chainsaws that are around us were actually traditionally used in the house for Leatherface.
For a period of time, Sheriff Hayes has not allowed interviews to give details of the Dolly case. He said only that he did have strong evidence linking the crime to elements outside the state. Area residents recently converged on the cemetery, bearing the remains of relatives have been removed. The suspects are in custody.
So as you listen to the soundtrack, you'll notice that it is a news reporting of the arrest, and it is actually traditional, I believe, from the movie.
All the skulls that you see out here are real. Some are brought in because an actor hit a deer on their way in here, and they just brought it in, and Eddie took it in and just made it a prop. By the characters like Mama and Dolly, and as well as others.
So this room is Dolly's room, and this is actually we've had experiences of the dolls moving into this room.
At least it don't hurt your ears like
Okay, I could try. A fun fact about this room is that we used to have real pig carcasses in here, so that used to add to the smell of the terror.
For a period of time. Sheriff Casey's multiple refused to give details to them. Said only that he did have strong evidence linking the crime.
This is our Baba Yaga attraction. It is the tallest attraction in North Carolina. And this was built recently last year.
For here, it's like you're be walking into a cursed forest.
It plays on the mythological legend of Baba Yaga, where the treehouse is on chicken legs, and as well as some kind of sacrifice, as well as some traditional witch kind of play on that. Baba Yaga was built, this started as more of like a junkyard attraction. It started as virus and then shifted into purge as after the fact. We did away with purge to open up into the big attraction that you see today. And it did take us roughly about a year to build this.
even more details in the next section.
So as you enter in, you'll notice witches above you, as well as a Wendigo that plays on other mythological traditions that is run by a spirit. So this animatronic actually spits water to add to the effect of the troll in the well.
But they did a really good black
So we are about to enter our asylum, and this attraction was built in, I believe, 2022, right? Yeah, 2022. So it's relatively new. It started out as your traditional asylum, and it shifted focus from a traditional patients and doctors into what is now more of like a laboratory and a mad scientist feel. So we are now playing off of test subjects. So the patients will be actually transformed into half human and half animal hybrids.
And then what we skipped here is sensory overload. And there you probably don't want to touch the walls. Yeah.
And as you enter, you'll notice the stretchers, and I believe these are real stretchers.
Sorry, we moved around.
So up top in this area right here, we've actually had actors act up in the top area, including myself. And a patient will yell at the customers that are entering in. And so yeah, it adds to the effect. So you'll notice a soundtrack of a little girl that is meant to play and trick your mind into making you think you hear sounds and voices.
I know.
I just want to play a
He
game.
doesn't have enough personality for here.
Hey, don't you run away. Please stay with me. If you don't come
So this is our iron lung machine,
we'll kill you.
and it actually offsets a smell and a stench of being in like an old-time hospital, as well as like a sense of almost burning flesh as you pass the iron lung. So as you enter, you'll notice that we have a couple things around us. The x-ray on the wall is actually from one of our managers, and this is the x-ray of her lungs to the left. And she actually has only one lung now. And this was, she put that in here in 2023 when she was diagnosed with cancer. you notice as you come into this room, you can see that we have a prop on the table that has tentacles growing out of him, and that is part of our shifting focus into almost a hybrid mad scientist subject kind of feel. So we are definitely shifting focus a lot away from the doctors and patients aspect. So we are about to shift focus into what started as phobia, which was a focal point on like plants and spiders and bugs. It went into what is now a 3D version of The Last of Us, and it plays off of the 3D strobe effect as well as some of the paint and props that we have on the walls. So as you enter, it will get dark, as well as we do have a drop ramp that's meant to make you kind of slide into a wall that has actual shock walls. So this section is where some of our characters will play, and our clickers are basically a version of like a plant animal kind of hybrid character.
Up ahead, we have some strobe lights.
So this is where we definitely shift a lot of our focus. The strobe effect and the 3D paint is meant to play like everything is jumping out towards you, as well as our actors will have some 3D paint on them as they are coming towards you. It kind of adds to the effect like everything is coming towards you.
Where you got Matt?
So the set design in here was created by our set artist, Ryan Bisengard. So he hand painted all the walls that you see around you. So up ahead is the area with the slanted floor as well as the shock wall. And this attraction actually started with things like that, where it would get claustrophobic and you would have to rely on your senses of touch and other senses because of the environment that you were around. And it meant to play with your mind, like a mind game, to add to the phobia of being in the dark, claustrophobia, as well as other things like that. We also used to have real snakes and spiders in the attraction.
this area is that this attraction actually originated as a cornfield maze. But due to weather, you know, they had to change that. And now we have 2 buses back to back. We're gonna go on. And then behind you we have another animatronic. So now we're heading into Hardwire, which is an 80s sci-fi themed throwback. A fun fact, in the past, it was like actors used to wear masks from the band Slipknot and would scare actors that way.
And it used to be more of like a heavy metal focus.
And now it's like, oh, AI is taking over the world, right? So like us in 10 years.
where they were actual killer clowns around and out in the world. So in years past, we used to have actors that were actually in some of these boxes with a fan over top of them that would pop out like a jack-in-the-box. Since then, we shifted focus after having a little bit of trouble with that. And we now have our lovely animatronic to do it for us. And as you can notice, the sound is meant to sound like a fun house, as well as the smell of cotton candy that you would smell almost as if you were entering a circus. This is where my character plays off of. So I start in this corner over here. And this is the flame, what we call the flame hallway. And it's my personal favorite just because I love to act in here.
Vortex.
So this is our spin room, and it's meant to play with your mind like you were actually leaning sideways. And it's a different sense of fear, like you can't walk straight, and as if everything is spinning around you, but you are also spinning with it.
Sideways because your equilibrium was right with us.
Also, if you'll notice, we do have a few portraits, and some of them were used to portray actual characters that played here in our Woods of Terror history. We are now entering our 11th nightmare, and this is our take on Stranger Things, and it incorporates every season of Stranger Things, specifically focusing on the last season of Stranger Things. It also includes traditional characters that you'll notice. We do have a section where it actually plays scenes from the show with a projection on the walls. Originally started as our vampire house, which was our Victorian era version of our vampires.
A fun fact is that Peggy McLaurin actually used to work here as a scare actor, and that's how her and Eddie met, and now they're married. Little sweet story.
So as you enter, you'll notice that we have some demogorgons as well as demo dogs that are actually from the show itself and kind of our transformation of what they would look like.
After a